All right, now I want to get to a story that we've had right here in our own midst, and maybe we didn't promote it up. I thought we had it up. I know we had it up on our Twitter feed or whatever. But remember when we had first Sam Houston State head coach Casey Keeler? They're moving to Conference USA July 1st of next summer. The same day, maybe it's June 1st, the 4 schools join the Big 12. But whatever that is, they're moving to the Conference USA. And then we had the next week, we had SFA's Colby Carthel on the show. And he dropped this bomb on us, and we mentioned it, we discussed it. I remember I put it in the premium section, discussed it. WAC football members, including SFA, Abilene Christian, Utah Tech, Southern Utah, and Tarleton State, and Atlanta Sun members, Austin Peay, Eastern Kentucky, North Alabama, and Central Arkansas, have signed to join the league together. They're going to merge. And then they're going to attempt to move up into FBS. Now, Colby kind of said you got 2 things coming to affect SFA. One, they're going to join somebody's statewide system, which is UT, but keep the name, so they get some infusion of money. And on number 2, they were going to merge with the Atlantic Sun. Now, I saw Pete Thamel had this today, and he had the story today, and that's great. But this was something that was dropped on our show about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and yet even more movement and realignment and future-type change in college football.
Yeah, and, we don't know what the timeline for them to become all FBS schools at once is. Usually teams kind of do that on an individual basis, and then you kind of find your way like Liberty did or Old Dominion. You make the move, you go to the highest level, and then you find the conference. This is an entire 2 conferences making the move together to get up to that level. And what Coach Carthel told us is that that's what they have to do to remain kind of relevant and, anywhere in the same kind of tracks as everybody else.
Do you know the last time that an FBS league, or the FBS overall as a league, whatever you want to call it, had a new conference started?
I don't.
I didn't know this until I just saw this. Mountain West back in 1999, which, of course, has been people have come and gone in that conference, including, Boise State, obviously TCU at one point, and others. But it's been nearly 2 decades since a new FBS league was formed or added, and back the last one was in 1999, so many years ago, with the Mountain West.
Apparently there's more certainties playing at that level, which is what they're looking for. But it still needs to pass a vote, a board of directors vote. So we'll see if that happens. I don't know what kind of an appetite there is in the NCAA for, a brand new conference and a bunch of new teams joining up. But it's sink or swim time. Like, if you haven't been investing in your, athletics department or in your university or what have you, preparing for a time like this, then yeah, you're scrambling right now. And in some cases you're probably flailing. There will be some that misstepped, like a USF, for example. They'll still be fine in the long run, but they did miss their boat to the Big 12 and to a Power 5, even if that does become a Power 2 here pretty soon. But regardless, it's a step above where they were playing, will be a step above, and they missed that opportunity because they just weren't quite ready. You can argue that maybe Boise missed, a window here or there that, can be debated or not. But, yeah, I think everybody who is anybody, really is it any different? Texas and Oklahoma moved up, so to speak, in terms of their conference prestige or value or what have you. So everybody's doing it. Everybody's trying to find ways to make more money. Everybody's trying to find more certainty in their path. And, I guess the one thing I kind of back away from is, a path towards the playoff. I'm sorry, I don't see Stephen F. Austin matching up with Georgia anytime soon. But on all those other things that were mentioned, I can see why you'd want more certainty, more scheduling certainty, more money certainty.
The money infusion, yeah.
Yeah, all that. I totally get it. Remains to be seen, though, because this is, again, something that needs to be passed and voted on and whatnot.
Well, you have to try to grow, and decisions like this are 50-year decisions.
Sure, yeah.
And they have to be 50-year decisions. So, yeah, Georgia and Stephen F. Austin aren't probably ever going to play each other in the playoff, and even 50 years from now. But 50 years from now, things will probably look drastically different. And if there's a business model that Stephen F. Austin and, Rio Grande Valley and all these schools jumped into that they've set themselves up for, then it will be better for them while those changes happen, as opposed to going, well, I don't know what we can do. we're just this, we're little old Nacogdoches, Texas. What are we supposed to do?
Axum Jacks.
Yeah, you've got to keep going. You've got to fight your way. Sometimes, even though you might be a small town, you've got to act like a big city, and you have to make big city moves.
If you can be a part of what is the expansion of 24, what now we even heard what Dennis Dodd mentioned that might even go past 12, whatever it might end up being, there's money involved if you're attached to the new college football playoff expansion. And that means money for FCS, or Group of Five, and if you could somehow become one, even if it's like you said, 10, 15, 50 years as far, you got to get it. Otherwise, again, it's part of that being left out on the front porch. Josh Downs,